We are here with Eric Minishred and his lovely little girl, Minnie the dog, talking about helmets today because, Eric, you're with Craniologie. I know I've said I'm coming in several times because I'm like, I need to get some new goggles, got my new helmet. Tell me a little bit about how we can be safe on the mountain and how we can pick the right helmet to be safe.
Well, the important thing to do is make sure you're in the proper fitting helmet, and that's what we specialize in. So we consider ourselves educators. It's a fun little fun little term about a serious topic. So when you come into Craniologie, we're one of the only ones that are actually going to measure your head. So we're going to get a perfect idea of what size your head is. We're also going to eye up your skull because every different helmet brand has a slightly different inner shape and every human skull is slightly different. So we want to pair those things up like the match 10 cards and put you in your absolutely perfect helmet. And there's some
good, Minnie?
some really cool, it's kind of dusty, some really cool helmet safety technology that's been launched recently, and we are the experts in making sure that you understand how to find the safest helmet out there.
Now, MIPS is that technology that you're talking about,
That's correct. Nice segue.
Nice segue. So here we go. We have this little label right here. Is that the label you want to look for when you are trying to find a helmet?
Well, generally they do like to put that sort of point of purchase identification branding on the helmets, and yeah, that is on every helmet that has MIPS, which is multi-directional impact protection system.
I was like, I'm going to try it.
There's lots of words in there. So the cool thing about MIPS is it's a little brand out of Sweden, and they did the research so that their technology mimics your own body's safety mechanisms to help potentially make the helmet a little bit safer. And what that means, if you kind of flip the helmet towards the camera, I'm going to peel the liner back in it. So it's nice and colorful. You'll see that yellow piece inside the helmet. That's attached to the helmet shell with sort of rubber bands, and what it does is allow the helmet to rotate slightly upon impact. So in your skull, your brain sort of lives inside this layer of fluid. So upon impact, the brain can rotate slightly. Rotational forces help to disperse impact forces. So MIPS mimics that, adds a little bit of rotational force to an impact to help disperse the impact force and hopefully reduce concussions.
Yes, and that is, you can always tell who's fallen a little bit more when you see their helmet. I was just telling you I got a new helmet. Mine's a little bit scratched up. But tell me a little bit about the helmets that you brought today and why we should choose these helmets.
So MIPS has been around for a little over 10 years now, and POC was one of the first brands to start partnering with MIPS and release it in the United States. Actually, you said you just got an Anon helmet. Anon was the first brand to release it in the United States. POC was the first to release it in Europe. So nice job on that.
Yay! Because of you.
But this year, thank you. This year, POC developed a brand new technology that's going to be proprietary to POC, which means unique to POC, and it's called SPIN. So similar to MIPS, it mimics rotational forces. And instead of having a sheath, like plastic sheath with rubber bands, SPIN is a bunch of targeted silicone pads. There are all those blue sections inside the helmet. So they are actually placed at targeted areas where you could potentially see some impact, and they will help assist rotation. So POC put a little bit of science, ton of science into this to try to create, again, a helmet that really helps to reduce concussions. So SPIN technology, also a great alternative to MIPS.
And now I know Pret is another great option for a helmet. I really like this color. And this also has the MIPS protection system.
Correct. Also a dual density, so that means that shell is 2 different hardnesses of plastic. Has the MIPS, amazing ventilation. That's the Pret Circ, one of our store favorites. Definitely one of the lightest weight, lowest profile helmets out there.
And now where are you located and when are you open so we can come by and get our helmets today?
So we are on Wall Street in Vail Village, which is just a block away from Bridge Street. If you're familiar with like Fuzzywigs Candy Shop or Wild Bill's Emporium, we're just kind of to the left of those, up Wall Street behind Vendetta's. And we're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. right now until about mid-December, when we'll go 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
All right, so plenty of time for you to come by and pick up one of these helmets. You also have goggles, you also have GoPros, you have other great gear. So, and you'll be there today?
You better believe it.
All right, well, come by and say hello to Eric today and Minnie. Pick up your helmet. They're going to measure your head and make sure that you're being as safe as possible out there on the slopes. Coming up next, we're going to check in with Ashley Ashley and more First Chair and give you a look at that weather forecast as well.